Easily the strongest opponent that Saitama has ever faced, God Garou pushed the Cape Baldy so far that Saitama began to tap into a reserve of latent, unlimited potential, something that we've never seen before. In fact, we weren't even sure that Saitama could get any stronger until he fought God Garou, a testament to how fearsome of an enemy he was. Garou's forms and power level changed repeatedly throughout the series as he increased in monsterification via various Zenkai boosts. Then ultimately, with an infusion of power from the monster god, he achieved his final form, Cosmic Garou. This form of Garou mastered all the knowledge of the flow of energy behind the behavior of all of the known forces in the universe, including nuclear fission and gamma ray burst, which interestingly enough just happened in real life as two black holes collided with each other. This attack was so destructive that it could have easily obliterated the Earth if Saitama didn't redirect the explosion. God Garou emanated an aura of cosmic energy so powerful that even being in his presence would kill you, taking out the likes of Silverfang and even King, who was a parody level character on par with Saitama. So before we even get into his strength, simply being in his presence took out all of the S-rank heroes with the exception of Blast. Even more so, Garou understood how to time travel, eventually teaching it to Saitama before his ultimate demise. The amount of serious punches that God Garou withstood was remarkable. While Boros withstood a few of Saitama's punches, a single serious punch completely decimated him. But for Garou, he was not only able to match Saitama's strength, but also match Saitama's durability. And speaking of durability, how durable is your car? A couple years ago, my family was in a terrifying car crash that almost cost the life of my wife and daughter. So listen up, because I really wish we knew what we were entitled to. In 2020, there was over 5 million car crashes, which is roughly 600 an hour. And if you're involved in a car accident, you're entitled to more than you think. And that's why I've partnered with Morgan & Morgan for today's video. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 800 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. And the best part about Morgan & Morgan is they're completely free unless they win your case. They won't charge you anything unless they get you money. Over 3 million people trust Morgan & Morgan, and getting started is easy. You can check out the link in the comment section for more information. He can predict movements and sense that people are watching him as he realizes he's being watched by two monsters despite being engaged in a battle against Metal Bat at the time. Additionally, he's able to sense killing intent very clearly, but perhaps one of his most important abilities is that of copying others after only seeing their skill once. He copied Watchdog Man style and all of Bang and Bomb's martial arts, including the exploding heart fist. He also copied Blast's gravity knuckle, which allowed him to teleport through space, and various other techniques throughout the series. Even without God's infusion of power, Garou was still a formidable enemy, single-handedly defeating S-rank heroes including Tank Top Master and Darkshine, although he did lose to the true GOAT of One Punch Man, Watchdog Man. Trained by S-rank hero number 3 Silverfang, Garou not only mastered all martial arts, but had an unreal level of resilience and healing. No matter how badly Garou was beaten, sliced, pierced, or other, he managed to not only survive, but thrive. He was pierced through the abdomen by Orochi, sliced in the back by Royal Ripper, and had his entire ribcage shattered by Darkshine, yet he continued to fight and get stronger. But the scariest thing that Garou did was copy Saitama's serious mode. For the longest time, fans theorized that the only way to beat Saitama would be to deflect his punches back at him, which Garou actually did using his martial arts. Unfortunately for Garou, this did not cause any damage to Saitama. Even replicating Saitama's serious mode still couldn't inflict damage to him. And interestingly enough, when they began their fight, they were at a near equal level of power, with Saitama only being slightly above of God Garou, and we could see this from the power leveling scale that the artist Murata provided us. Now, near the end of the fight, Saitama's power grew so exponentially that he was leaving Garou in the dust, but if you go to the beginning of the graph, they are almost equal. Even at that state, Saitama still was not taking any damage. Meaning to me, if Saitama were to fight an evil Saitama from another dimension, they probably could never kill each other. A completely new, totally different martial art that Garou developed after receiving his powers from God was the All-Life Eradication Fist. Garou was able to combine the teachings of Bang and martial arts with the understandings of physics in the universe from God in order to create his ultimate attack, the All-Life Eradication Fist. This new martial arts skill allowed the hero hunter to concentrate and harness the natural flow of energy from the universe in conjunction with its internal channeling of power, allowing the simulation of universal natural phenomenon through his physical abilities. Garou could use his energy manipulation coupled with his incredibly fast and powerful punches to create nuclear explosions, even creating mushroom clouds of toxic radiation, strong enough to be detected through nuclear detection tools. These clashes of nuclear fission rained down radiation rain, which ended up slowly killing all of the people in the surrounding area. Now, unfortunately, God Garou did not take the full impartation of power from God, or this may have been a different fight. Simply by touching God's hand and smacking it away, it was enough for God to give Garou such an immense power boost that he was able to fight Saitama out on the moon of Jupiter. But even before Garou took the power from God, he was still an incredibly formidable opponent, going through multiple monsterification changes with power enough to pierce the earth. This should give us some insight into how strong God truly is. If a quick tap from God's finger gives you power to fight Saitama, imagine how powerful God actually is. And that's what gets me so excited about this series. Although at the same time, with the power scaling graph and explanation that Murata provided, Saitama, if he fights an opponent at equal or higher strength than himself, will begin to skyrocket in unlimited strength, speed, power, and feats until he beats his opponent. In my opinion, it's going to be very hard to write a new enemy, a new big bad for the third arc that's even more powerful than God Garou. Perhaps it could be a new God avatar, or just simply God himself. But one thing's for sure, Boros, who was highly remarked as the coolest and strongest villain in One Punch Man, is literally an ant compared to the feats that God Garou provided. We've never seen an enemy take that many powerful hits from Saitama, and we've never seen an enemy be able to copy Saitama's serious punch in both technique and power. It's a shame that the God Garou arc is over, but we're looking forward to more information about God being revealed every chapter in the manga, leading up to the mega fight of anime, Saitama vs. the Monster God. Now, Garou is still alive in the manga. We did get a brief glimpse of him as like some sort of delivery man. Whether or not he was able to retain any of the powers that he gained through the Monster Association arc is still up for debate and question at this point, but it is very possible that he did retain a lot of that strength. He is still S rank or above, and he could come in later down the series to be a good guy and fight alongside Saitama, potentially to go out in space and help Blast and the galactic crew of heroes fight against God in the final arc of the series, which interestingly enough, he did in C. Eminglap's version of Saitama vs. God, which it appears that Murata is actually taking notes from a fan in order to finish this series. One thing's for sure, God Garou is the closest opponent we've ever seen come close to an undefeatable parody character. To not be a parody character, but able to battle one is unheard of, and that's why God Garou has terrifying power.